What's going on, everybody? Franklin Williams Jr. here. So glad to be here with y'all. Shouts out to Lyrics Productions and Rococo Films. I appreciate you all for giving me this opportunity to express myself. Well, everybody, this is where it gets started. This is what you would call the pre-practice room right here. This is where all of the ideas come in for Franklin Williams, for me. Any chords, anything, any ideas, concepts that I might get is all going down right here in this very room. Okay, so just follow me, go with me, come with me if you will. All this sofa right here, a lot of writing goes on right here on the black sofa. You know, a lot of lyrics go down right here. I get caught up in my mode, you know, getting deep thought and everything, and a lot of things go down right here. So let's go, follow me. Going through the hall. Now we're going to the actual studio right here when it's time for me to really lay it down, when my heart really bleeds. We're going in this room right here. Come on. So here we are. This is where my heart bleeds right here. This is the mic that Frankie hearts bleed from. This is why I cry right here. All right. I sit right here at the board, get the sounds, make sure all of my sounds and everything is good. I might bring the engineer in to get my sounds and my levels right. You know, again, shouts out to Lyric Music and Rococo Films. I appreciate this, all right? So now, getting into the history of Franklin Williams, if you all don't mind. Well, I started singing at the age of 7. Of course, the son of a preacher man. I know it sounds cliche-ish, but I am the son of a preacher man. And grew up in a house where my mother, you know, very submissive mother, wife, you know, took care of my father very well, got him ready for Saturday nights for Sunday morning service. You know, I sung in the choir for years. Of course, went through high school, did all of the talent shows. Alabama State for 2 years, did the talent shows down south, you know, with a couple of cats. Started my band called Crucial. Prince, I must say, Prince was the first cat that actually got me started in the game, listening to Do Me Baby. When I first heard Do Me Baby and heard the purity and of his falsetto and the sincerity of his sensuality, I was like, this is the cat right here. So he inspired a brother to start really singing and taking this music thing very, very serious. And not to mention that he knew how to play all of the instruments, you know. I mean, he's truly what I consider an unadulterated artist, Prince. So that's why I'm here today, and he inspired me. So we just moving right along, you know, steady getting more hits, steady getting more joints together, and it's very important to me that you all stay with me along this journey, you know, because there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more that I have to give. And stay with Frankie, because there's nothing but love and happiness and joy. So I appreciate you all's time. Shouts out again to Lyrics Music and Rococo Film. I appreciate y'all very much. Well, I started singing at the age of 7. Okay, grew up in Roseland, 120 West 111th place, down the street from Roseland Hospital. That's exactly where I remember my childhood, from the age of 7 to 11. Then we moved back to the west side, K-Town to be exact. And that's when, you know, I actually really started getting into the calisthenics and the technical part of singing. You know, because my aunties, all of my aunties could sing. You know, my mother, she had like 12 sisters. All of them made up the choir. Grandfather was the pastor. Okay, Greater New Obedient Baptist Church on the west side, actually right on Madison Street. That was my grandfather's storefront church. And so all of my aunties sung, and they made up the whole choir. And I remember as a little boy, hearing my auntie Blair, I was like, Blair, how do you, because we call them riffs, you know, whenever, I used to wonder, Blair, how do you do that? And then she was like, well, Bojangles, my nickname is Bojangles. For all you don't know, my nickname is Bojangles. How did I get the nickname Bojangles? Well, when I was a little kid, I used to dance all the time. I used to jump around in my bedpan. Sammy Davis Jr. came on one day singing Candyman. And that's what my father nicknamed me, Bojangles. So it always stuck with me ever since then. So Blair, getting back to the story, she said, well, Bo, you know, you want to start off simple first. So don't get to doing all of the crazy runs with your voice. Just do something simple. So she gave me a simple run. And I never forget, I used to practice that. Oh, see, how was it? Oh, oh. I used to practice that over and over and over again. Oh, over and over. And until, you know, and then other things that started getting added to that. So that's what I would do. I would just practice that over and over. And that's how I, you know, just started adding on to, you know, the simple things as far as singing. Then, of course, the choir and things of that nature. So as I grew older, you know, went to high school, we moved from the west side to the south suburbs, Calumet Park to be exact. And I went to Dwight D. Eisenhower out in Blue Island, Illinois. And let me tell you, that's actually when I started to evolve as the artist. That's when the artist actually began to come up out of me, you know, going through adolescent stages, you know, the girls and just romance. You know, so that's where, you know, my mind and my eyes began to become wide open to the beautiful things of life. I started getting exposed to just the colorful things of women and how they smell, the perfume, the way they wear their hair, you know, the clothes and just their whole makeup. So Calumet Park, high school years, that was the time where I began to fall in love, you know, or experience love, if you may. Started writing songs as another way of expressing myself because, you know, I think, in fact, if it had not been for songs and music, I don't know what I would do. Honest to God, I don't know what I would do because there's just so much inside of me. You just need an outlet, you know, to get so much emotion and so much is going on inside of you. You just need some type of outlet. So I thank God for the music. So he gave me that in high school. I took band. I was playing the trumpet under the care of Mr. Harkins. He was my band teacher, Mr. Harkins. And he was great band teacher, taught me composition, and you know, used to play jazz and all of that good stuff. So, you know, thank God for Mr. Harkins. So after Eisenhower, I took my skills and everything else and I went down to Alabama State. You know, so we started going down there, started doing different shows and talent shows and, you know, things of that nature. Was there for 2 years and decided to come back to Chicago to pursue this music thing real hard. And so I did that. And met a couple of different producers that's here in Chicago who's, you know, very well known today. Don't need to name names, but they actually gave me a leg up. So I actually took those songs that I actually did with those producers here in Chicago and I went to Brooklyn, New York. And I lived in Brooklyn actually for at least 5 years. Great experience. I love New York. Brooklyn, New York was beautiful. Still beautiful to this day. So went there, started working out at the Underground. It's like this club down there on West 4th Street in the Village where a lot of cats come through, do open mics, all through that whole joint and, you know, and bless the mic. You know, your Brian McKnight, your Carl Thomases, all of them cats would come through. And then so all of the band members, they would be on tours with different various artists. So it would be just a great thing, you know, a great jam session. Cats just come in and really get their thing off. So the Underground, Ron Grant, he was the host of the Underground in New York. Ron Grant, he was actually working at Sony, was in charge of Sony showcases and things of that nature. So he actually taught me a lot as far as the stage and things of that nature. Ron Grant. Thanks again, Ron Grant, I appreciate you. And from that point, you know, started doing more songs, you know, St. Louis and, you know, and just going all over. So that's pretty much what I want to say. You know, I'm gonna get back at you, do part 2 because there's so much going on right now. So come get back at me in a few.
like we was in a house and this dude started singing and I actually turned the radio off. No stunt. I turned the radio off. This dude, he's next. I think he's now. I'd like to present to y'all Franklin Williams. It's a pleasure knowing you, man. I'm glad to see I'm shaking your hand. Got nothing but love for you, Frank. You know, we did This Summer Belong to Us. This Summer Belong to Us. Yes, yes. So without further ado.
All through that whole joint and, you know, and bless the mic. You know, your Brian McKnight, your Carl Thomas, all of them cats will come through. And then so all of the band members, they would be on tours with different various artists. So it would be just a great thing, you know, a great jam session. Cats just come in and really get their thing off. So the Underground, Ron Grant, he was the host of the Underground in New York. Ron Grant, he was actually working at Sony, was in charge of Sony showcases and things of that nature. So he actually taught me a lot as far as the stage and things of that nature. Ron Grant. Thanks again, Ron Grant, I appreciate you. And from that point, you know, started doing more songs, you know, St. Louis, and, you know, and just going all over. So that's pretty much what I want to say. You know, I'm gonna get back at you, do part 2, because there's so much going on right now. So come get back at me in a few. My cat's Glasgow, James Glasgow in St. Louis. great producer. Work with a lot of people. I actually met Glasgow for the first time in New York, you know, at an ASCAP writing session. You know, he had a publishing deal with Sony, so great writer. Shouts out to you, Glasgow. Looking forward to doing more work with you. And, you know, just keep that pen ready, dog. Keep the pen ready. Coincidentally, everybody, this is me in the background, you know, just so you can get a feel of Franklin Williams Jr. This is me right here in the background playing. So, I appreciate you all, and I just want y'all to stay with me, you know. I ain't going nowhere. This is what I do. You know, I live and I die music. You know, I have injected my whole being into it. You know, when I lay down in the grave 6 feet under, trust me, music will be right there with me. This is what I do, so stay with me. I have so much to give, so much to offer, so much love. So, I love you, and just stay with me. Peace.